In this video, you'll learn how to master Canva in just a few minutes. We'll go through the key features and some cool tips to get you designing straight away. I'm Natalia, and I help you create better content and grow on social media, so let's do this. Of course, you do need a Canva account, but it's free to use and it's super easy to sign up, so you can use the link in the description box below. Once you have your account, this is what the Canva homepage looks like. It's very simple, very intuitive, and you see your recent designs in here. There's a panel to the left with your own projects, so your own designs and folders, and then you've got templates and brands and apps, different things to help you navigate. There's also this panel in here where you see your recent designs, the ones you had opened, and also you can start some of your folders for easy access. Apart from that, what I want to show you is how to start a new design, and there are so many different ways in which you can do it on the homepage. The first way is to go to this purple button in here, and this indicates that you can start anything from scratch. There's also this middle panel in here when you can start an Instagram post in a portrait ratio, your story, docs, whiteboards, presentations, social media, because Canva is a very versatile tool. Or you can go to the search bar here at the top and actually go to search for something. So I'll maybe say yoga Instagram. And as you can see in here, I have Canva template selected. If I didn't have that selected, you can see that I can search my own content, my brand templates, or I can just go for Canva templates. And apart from that, below, you can see that not only it understands my keyword, but it also suggests other keywords that might be useful for the search term. And in here, through this icon, you can see that these are actually post formats, the post dimensions that it suggests for you, which are quite popular. You can see Instagram post again in the portrait ratio and then in the square, and also some of my older designs that have something to do with this keyword. Now, if I were to just go for Canva templates because I want to search specifically in the Canva templates and not in my own content, you can see that I've got different keywords again. So let's say I want to say yoga Instagram post. So I'll just search like this, and you can see that all of a sudden Canva suggests all the different templates that might pertain to my search. And this is where I can browse and maybe find something that I really like so that I don't have to start from scratch. Of course, apart from that, there are also filters in here that help you really hone your results and check if there's anything that might make it easier to browse through. You can just hit apply once you're ready with all the filters, and now you've got less templates to browse through and find inspiration for your post. Now, the moment you find something that you like, all you have to do is to click on it and then hit customize this template. And what happens is that it takes you straight into the Canva editor. This is what the Canva editor looks like. You've got the top panel with the different settings. You've got the left panel in here with the elements and the text and the brand and the upload. So you've got all the access that you need to all the assets that are very important for you to be able to design, and also some of the crucial features. Now, apart from this, what you can see here in the middle is your actual canvas. And as you can see, once I hover over all the elements, you see that some of the things get highlighted. So this is how you actually select things and how you can see that everything at the top changes depending on the element that gets selected. So for example, this is our text. You can see that this contextual menu at the top changes. And then if I click an image, it changes as well, just because you've got different features based on the specific element that you're using. Then down below, you can see that you can have more pages if you want. You can add pages from this panel. You can also, delete them from here or move them around if you're dragging them like this. And also you can zoom in, zoom out. Very easy to maneuver. And again, very intuitive because Canva is here to really make it very easy for us. Now, I've shown you how to search for a template from the homepage, but if at any point in here you feel like this is not really the template that you want to go to, you can always jump into the first tab in here and check for other options. I could also go and search in here because it still applies, but it will only look for templates in this particular format. So if I say liked this design, I can always click on it and it will replace the previous page. If I felt like I wanted both, I can always add a page like this and actually just go ahead and add a few. Now, I know we've got our templates in here, but I actually want to empower you to be creative and start designing from scratch. So apart from, changing the templates just like this, you can also start something completely new. And this is what I'm going to do next. So if I go back to the Canva homepage in here, you can see that again, you can use this create a design button, but I want to create an Instagram post not in a square ratio, but in a portrait ratio, which is 1080 pixels by 1350. So I'm going to click on it in here. And again, it takes me to the editor, but creates a separate file. So this is what my file looks like right now. And we're in the design panel, but we don't need to use the template. I'm just going to click away like this. And the first step that we want to take care of is our background. Now, as you can see here in the middle, I can always click on the background. There's nothing on top of it. As you can see, we're starting with a blank page. And then if I go in here at the top, you see the comments, you see the background color and the position. Of course, I cannot really reposition the background because there's nothing else on the canvas. But if I click on the background color, this is what the color panel looks like. You've got some default colors in here. You also have gradients. But apart from that, you can just click on this plus sign. And this is where you can choose your color for the template. Now, one very important thing is that you not only can create a solid color for your background, you can also select a gradient, and that will allow you to create a smooth transition between different colors. And as you can see, it comes with different styles as well. Just like this, you can change the whole vibe of your background, and you can also keep adding different colors. And there's also the transparency option. So let's choose something a little bit more visible so that you can see clearly what it looks like. And then if I change the transparency, you can see that it kind of blends a little bit into the background a little bit differently. Now, I actually have a very specific color in mind, and this is what happens when you have your own brand colors chosen. So what I want to do is to actually go to the new color and then go to solid color. And from here, I can actually paste my own hex code. And this is how it changes it to the color that I want. And then it retains it in here. So at any point, if you want to use that color again, it will be here as long as it's anywhere on any of the pages within your design. Now let's move on and add a first element to our canvas, and that's going to be an image. So if you go to the Elements tab here to the left, you can see that there are different things that you can find in the Canva library, and this is how you access it. From here, you see the different shapes, you see the graphics, there's an AI image generator, there are stickers which are actually animated, there are photos, videos, audio, charts, polls and quizzes, tables, frames, grids. There are so many options for you to be able to design with the different elements to make your design come to life. Now, what I want in here is to search for something specific. So let's say I want a woman, for example. So I can just search for it, and you can see that I can choose from all of these categories either in here through the sections or here at the top. And I can just go to photos, and from here at the top, you can also filter the results. So maybe I want something vertical. I can just search for it like this. You can also filter through colors if you want to. So you can add something a little bit more funky like this. The way you add a specific image is by just clicking on it. And as you can see, it seamlessly gets added on top, and I can just make it smaller, reposition it. I can rotate it like this. What if I actually want to use my own image and upload it into Canva? Well, it couldn't have been simpler. I actually have my own photo in here. It's not my own. It's made by Ruben Valenzuela, an amazing photographer. But I can just drag and drop it into Canva just like this, and you can see that it just gets uploaded. And this is our uploads tab in here, and you can see that it just got uploaded. And again, if I ever wanted to add another one like this, I can just tap on it in here and it's going to add it on top. As you can see, Canva always allows you to align everything properly, and as I'm moving my image across the canvas, my alignment appears. So you can see the solid lines appearing now in here in the middle and also here in the center. So you can see that this is your guidance as to where the center is. There's also the margins in here to leave a little bit of a breathing space in here. So this orients you as to where your element is positioned. So let's say I want it right in the middle. Now, another cool feature in Canva is the ability to use frames. You will find them in the Elements tab again. So if I click again and just deselect the search, I can scroll down and you can see the frames and grids in here, and you'll recognize them by this lovely horizon picture. If I go to see all, you can see that we've got all the different frames and shapes that really help us mold the image into the shape that we want. Of course, as with any other elements in the Canva library, you do have the option to search for frames as well. So I want something like an arch maybe, and I can just search for it like this and then browse through it. And I think think I like something like this, and this is how I add it on top. And of course, if I want my image to go inside it, all I need to do is to select it and then drag and drop it onto the frame, and it seamlessly fits it into that shape. The next thing I want to do is to actually add a border to add a bit more visual interest. So if you click on the image and go to the top, you see the border style in here. So from here, I can just drag it ever so slightly, and you can see the border weight at 3. You can change it to dashed and dotted, but I want the solid line going through it, and I can actually change the border color from here as well, but I'll leave it at black in here. Of course, designs very often rely on text as well, and this is our next tab over in here. This is where you can add a text box. From here, you can also add your own branding. If you have a brand kit set up, you can just use it like this from here, or you can add some of the combinations that were pre-created by amazing Canva designers, professionals, to help you with choosing different font combinations and also font effects, so that you've got this nice base and you don't have to worry about finding the right option for you. Now it got added here in the middle, so I'm just going to drag it a little bit higher. And from here, I can change the font. So you can see that this opens up an amazing library of fonts. There are thousands of fonts for you to choose from. You can choose handwriting, corporate, and of course you can search for something specific or a keyword. I actually have one in mind. So this is lato in Polish, or lato if you're pronouncing this in English. And if you see this arrow right next to a font, this means it's a part of a font family, which means it has different weight. So you can choose something a little lighter or go all the way to black for a bold effect. Now I can also go to the top in here and choose uppercase so that everything gets capitalized for me very seamlessly. And from here, you can also change the size of the paragraph, and you can also change the text color from this panel. If I just double click on it and then start typing, I can actually enter the text that I want. I want to say 6 most useful Canva apps, and I can actually separate it a little, just like this. And from here, you can see the spacing, and I always advise you to adjust the spacing a little bit, because sometimes the spacing between the different fonts is a little bit awkward. So I'll go for something around 1 in here. And if I drag it from here, you can see that it changes the sizing for me as well. So I can just use that to resize my font. Of course, one piece of text is not enough. And this is a great opportunity for me to show you how easy it is to actually design in Canva when you're using shortcuts. Of course, in any app, shortcuts are there to speed up your workflow, and it's no different in Canva. And I really advise you to start learning little tips and tricks in terms of the shortcuts, because it will help you design much faster and get comfortable with the app. So the first shortcut I want to show you, especially with text, is that if you hit T, you can see that the text box appears like this in the middle, or you can also duplicate any of the existing elements on your canvas by holding Alt and then dragging your text again in this case. Or if I wanted to do the same for the image, you can see that this is what it looks like, and it just seamlessly duplicates it without you having to copy and paste over again. So I'm going to add my text again by using T. And now I want to say for content creators, just like this. I just pasted it like that. I can make it smaller and maybe drag the text box over so that it's forming just one piece of text. Now, apart from spacing out the lines, you can also space out letters. So if I go here to the top, you can space them out a little bit just like this. And another cool option that Canva has within their ecosystem is the effects tab. So if I go to effects in here, you can see that I can add a shadow underneath my text and change the sliders in here. There's lift, there's echo, there's outline, there's hollow like this. Super cool effects that really help you a lot in creative designing. And also there's a curvature as well. If you want to, you can add it on top of any effect as well. But I don't want that or this one. I want the background one. So you can actually add a little bit of an outline underneath your image. Now, I actually don't want any roundness in here. I'll go for right in the middle for the spread and leave the transparency fully, because I don't want any opacity in here to be dropped. And in here, you can choose the colors. I'll go in here and actually enter this lovely, deep, rich blue color. But of course, now I have this kind of off black in the middle, so I can just jump back to the text color and go for my light so that it blends nicely in the background. Now I'm happy with what it looks like, but I want to add more visual interest to all of it and create a little bit more of that striking effect. So the next thing I want to do is to add a few shapes. So if you go back to the elements, you can see that the second tab in here is the shapes. And if you go to click on it, you can see that we've got different styles of lines and also different shapes for you to choose from. Now I'll start with a bit of a rectangle. And if I drag it to the top like this, I can just make it a little bit smaller and just drag it all the way up so that it creates a little bit of an outline for me. Another way for me to do it, to pull up a rectangle, would be to hit R as a shortcut, and that will give me another rectangle in the middle just to work with, but I'll delete it in here. Now I want to show you another cool tip, and this is for you to jump into the color panel. And I actually love this color of the trousers in here, so I want to maybe pull from that and have it guide me in my designing process. So if I go to the top to the color and then scroll down, you can see this photo color section. And what Canva does is actually when you add any of the images to your design, it actually pulls the colors from it, some of the key colors that you can use in your designing process. So if I want to tie this whole thing together, I could click on this one. Now it's not exactly what I want. So another way that I could access it, of course, is to change things up in here, or I can go to the color picker and start to glide over the trousers just to pick something from this color palette. And voila, this is what it looks like. From here, I want to add a little bit more text to it. So I could just start typing here in the middle, or I can hit T again to create another text box just like that. I can just select all three of those. And then another option is to actually group them, because I don't want to accidentally move them over. I can just go to Control G or actually hit group here at the top. Again, I'm using shortcuts a lot because I'm very used to Canva, but you could just go to group and this is what it looks like. You can then reposition it as the whole element like this. Amazing. So I've adjusted the text ever so slightly and added another panel just by duplicating the top to the bottom. And this is what my canvas looks like at the moment. I want to add even more visual interest. Now I want to add a little bit more text. I could just go for T, but I want to make my life a little easier, and I will just copy over this text in here. And now, as you can see, when I drag it over, it actually goes underneath. So another very useful thing to know about Canva is that you can reposition all of the elements. If I now go to the top to position and then go in here, you can see the arrange tab, and I can just move it forward, move it to back, move it to front, and I can actually align it to different parts as well. So this is quite a useful thing for you to know, that this is how you reposition your elements. And also you can go to right click and there's that under layer as well. So it's very easy. And of course, I wouldn't be me if I didn't change things up. So this is what it looks like at the moment. And now I want another one just like this. So again, I'll hold Alt and duplicate it like this, and I'll rotate it ever so slightly. And now I want to push it to the back. So if I hold Control and go for a square bracket. So any of the brackets, one will push it to the back and one will push it to the front. So that's another way to arrange your elements and reposition them without having to go to position and arrange. So again, we're reducing the clicks and designing quicker and quicker. Another cool way of repositioning visually is to go to position, and instead of arrange, you can also go to layers. And from here, you can see that you can drag things over visually. So if you're someone who prefers to see what they're doing, this is a great option. Now, I'm happy with what the design looks like. So of course, we never want to design for an online drawer. We want this design to see the world. So we're going to go to the share button here at the top. And from here, you've got all the different options to download it and to share it with the public. Now, you can give people access for viewing or for editing or commenting, which is great for collaboration, or maybe when you're designing something for a client. There's also an option to save it as a brand template, which saves us within your account, and it's for you to be able to recreate that same style of template very quickly. So you'll have a master almost that you can just copy over and over, and this will retain that brand template for you. So it's very easy to maintain that consistent brand image. And another very important option, if you click the three dots in here for more ways to publish is the template link option. So you know the brand template, it saves it within your account. If you go for a template link like this, you will be able to create a template link for anyone else to actually use it as a template, which is fantastic if you've got, if you're selling products, maybe if you're selling Canva templates, or if you're selling something specific that takes people back to Canva to recreate it as the basis of their design. So this is absolutely amazing and a great way for Canva to create that passive income for you. Now, of course, I want to go for a classic, so I'll just go to download. And as you can see, you've got different file types that Canva allows. And of course, because we use the Instagram post, Canva suggests PNG for us, which is an amazing format to use for social media. You could also download it as a JPEG. If you ever want to print it, you can go for a PDF print, or if you don't want a bulky file, you can go to PDF standard if maybe this is a file that you're using to send off the stuff. I told you again about lead magnets. Maybe you've created a workbook in Canva and you want to share it as a PDF. You will be able to use this file type as well. So you've got all the different options in here, and then you can just hit download like this and you're sorted. And this is how easy it is to create and design in Canva. You can also design videos in Canva. You can create presentations, whiteboards, and documents. So Canva is really a powerhouse for any of your design needs and publishing. So if you have any questions at all as to, any of the other portions of Canva, make sure to leave them down below. I'll make sure to respond to you. And also, if you want me to create any other tutorials on the different parts of Canva, make sure to drop them in the comment as well. By the way, if you want to learn even more about the useful Canva features that it offers, then sign up on the waitlist for my upcoming course. And for a longer, more in-depth tutorial explaining Canva in much more detail, check out this video here. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.